Good evening, Nigeria. Welcome to DV Real News TV. I am John Boss. Here are the major stories making headlines across Nigeria. In politics, attention is already turning toward the 2027 elections. In the economy, Nigerians continue to deal with high living costs, while the government says its economic reforms are beginning to bring results. The government is also working to improve crude oil supply to local refineries. In sports, the Super Falcons face disappointment at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, and Team Nigeria records a strong performance at the Commonwealth Games. In politics, Nigeria's political space is becoming more active as the country moves closer to the 2027 general elections. The August 15, 2026 Osun State governorship election has come to an end following weeks of intense political campaigns and mobilization across the state's 30 local government areas. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared the incumbent governor, Ademola Adeleke, the winner of the keenly contested election, securing another term in office. Adeleke, who contested under the Accord Party platform, recorded 511,067 votes, placing him ahead of his closest rival, Bola Oyebamiji of the All Progressives Congress, APC, who finished with 444,815 votes. The result brings to a close a closely watched electoral contest that attracted significant political attention across Osun State. Adeleke's victory means the incumbent will continue in office for a second term, while the APC and its candidate now face the task of reviewing their campaign performance and charting their next political steps. The election outcome is also expected to shape the political landscape in Osun as attention gradually moves from the campaign period to governance and the expectations of the electorate. For now, the mandate has been decided, and Governor Adeleke begins the next phase of his administration with another electoral victory behind him. The 2027 election is still ahead, but political activity is already increasing. Atiku speaks on refineries. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized the federal government over Nigeria's refineries. He has questioned the money spent on refinery rehabilitation. The issue of Nigeria's refineries has remained controversial for many years. The country has large crude oil reserves, but has struggled to maintain its government-owned refineries. The growth of private refining has changed the situation. However, many Nigerians are still waiting to see the full benefits of local refining. The big question is simple. Can Nigeria produce enough refined petroleum products locally and reduce dependence on imports? That question remains important. Security. Security is still a major concern across Nigeria. The government recently announced the rescue of more than 300 people who had been kidnapped in Niger and Kwara states. The rescue was welcomed by the authorities. However, kidnapping remains a serious problem in several parts of the country. Security agencies continue to face pressure to protect communities and respond quickly to attacks. The government has also announced improved welfare for members of the armed forces. Officials say the move is aimed at supporting military personnel who continue to fight insecurity across the country. The economy. Now to the Nigerian economy. The government says its economic reforms are beginning to improve the country's financial situation. But for many Nigerians, life remains difficult. Food prices are still a major concern. Transport costs are high. Electricity costs continue to put pressure on families and businesses. Many Nigerians are therefore asking one important question. When will the benefits of the economic reforms reach ordinary people? The government says the reforms are necessary to build a stronger economy. But Nigerians want to see those changes reflected in their daily lives. Oil and refineries. The government is also looking at ways to make crude oil more available to local refineries. This is important because refineries need a steady supply of crude to operate properly. Industry operators have complained about the cost of getting crude oil. New arrangements could make it easier for local refineries to obtain crude directly. If successful, the move could support domestic refining. It could also help Nigeria reduce its dependence on imported petroleum products. For ordinary Nigerians, the hope is that a stronger local refining industry will eventually help create a more stable fuel market. Business. Nigeria is also working to attract more foreign investment. The government has been meeting with investors from different countries. The focus includes energy, tourism, infrastructure, manufacturing, and technology. Nigeria has a large population and a growing consumer market. This makes the country attractive to investors. But businesses also need reliable electricity, good roads, efficient ports, and clear government policies. Local businesses are facing the same challenges. Many entrepreneurs want to expand their companies and employ more people. but the cost of operating a business remains a major concern. Technology. Nigeria's technology sector continues to grow. The country's .internet domain has now passed 250,000 registrations. More Nigerian companies and organizations are using local domain names. This shows the growing importance of the digital economy. Nigeria already has a large technology sector. The country has companies working in fintech, online shopping, transportation, and other digital services. However, better internet access, electricity, and digital skills are still needed. Sports. Now to sports. Nigeria's Super Falcons suffered disappointment at the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. The defending champions were eliminated by Cameroon. The result was disappointing for Nigerian football fans. The Super Falcons have a long history of success in African women's football, but other African countries are improving their women's football programs. Nigeria will now have to look at what went wrong and prepare for future competitions. Commonwealth Games. There was better news for Nigeria at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. Team Nigeria finished 7th on the medals table. The country won 24 medals. Nigeria was also the highest-ranked African country at the Games. The performance shows that Nigeria has talented athletes across different sports. But more investment is needed. Athletes need good training facilities, proper coaching, and strong support. With the right investment, Nigeria can continue to compete strongly at international competitions. Football. In club football, Nigerian striker Taiwo Awoniyi is reportedly moving from Nottingham Forest to Coventry City. The reported transfer is worth around £17 million. Awoniyi has spent several years at Nottingham Forest. The new move could give him a fresh opportunity. Nigerian football fans will be watching his progress closely. Grassroots football. Grassroots football is also growing in Nigeria. In Lagos, Shoe Close won the 2026 Lagos State Street Soccer Stars Oshodi competition. The team defeated Amusa Street 2-0. Competitions like this give young players the chance to show their talent. Many Nigerian football stars started from small community pitches. With more support for grassroots football, more young talents could get the opportunity to become professional players. John Boss. And that is our report for today. Nigeria continues to face challenges in politics, security, and the economy. But there are also opportunities in business, technology, sports, and other sectors. As the country moves toward 2027, Nigerians will be watching closely. They want better security. They want more jobs. They want affordable food and transportation. And they want a stronger economy. That brings us to the end of this edition of Nigerian news, politics, sports, and business on DV Real News TV. I am John Boss. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to DV Real News TV, turn on your notification bell, and share this video. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed. Good night.